Let me guide you through your OneDrive and the changes that I've made. Let's go to your main folder, all items. There's two folders that I separated things into, not for this project, and family pics. So inside of family pics, you have your years, but I did actually retain a bunch of your subfolders just to make things a little bit easier for your scrapbooking project. For other ones, I just renamed the photos. Like in 2006, I renamed everything for Colorado, 2006 Colorado, and then I made them sequential in order to put them in the same folder to be able to find duplicates faster and make that part easier, because I think there's still a lot more duplicates that need to be combed through. And this was the only way that I was able to figure that much out, because of the fact that there's just way too many folders. And I've sorted your main photos folder into two subfolders that have additional subfolders within them. There's the family photos, and then not for this project. Not for this project has several different categories inside of it, including delete me, which would be your Picasa file directories, which are no longer valid because of the fact that these photos were moved into different locations by myself and the other virtual assistant, and because Picasa no longer exists as a supported application anymore. So it just doesn't make sense to keep any of those files. And so I put it in there as a suggested delete. Now, these images would be your duplicate images, which are exact copies to the files that were already saved. They could be in the not for this project folder, or they could be in the videos folder, uh, which is still in not for this project. They could be located in your family photos folder. It doesn't matter. They're just an exact copy of a duplicate image, video, file type of any sort, basically. This was a file I was not able to open, and that's why I stuck it in the not for this project, because I was not able to open the file, and I'm not sure if it's a file type that's only for like Mac or something, and I'm using a Windows, or just I'm not sure what the problem was. So I just put it there. In miscellaneous photos, not family, you would find suggested for Volt. That was because I saw your driver's license was in here, and I don't consider that a family photo. And then there was miscellaneous. These were like albums that you had, or folders that you already had, or things that I didn't necessarily sort into albums or anything like that. Um, these were just not family photos. Um, and then there was the ones that I did sort into years, but like we discussed initially, the primary focus was actually to sort your family photos into years, and then the move everything out of that folder that would not be considered a family photo. Um, so that's why I didn't do this for too many images, but I did try to give you as much as I could if it was like an easy solution. The reason it was difficult to do that was because of the fact that there were so many things that were in strange folders, and there was a lot of folders to call through in order to even get to the point of getting the project completed. So now let's talk about the family photos. Everything is absolutely sorted into years in here. The only thing that you should be aware of is that the scrapbook templates contains a folder for 2017 photos, or photos that you created in 2017, because you actually had some pages that you prepared for your kids' albums or scrapbooks. I'm sorry. And I didn't want to like allow these to get hidden within other files. So I just basically separated them into their own folder to make it easier for us to create your scrapbook. These might be a duplicate. So I kind of get a sense that you would like to include photos and messages on your scrapbook, and I think that's a really amazing idea. And I did want to kind of um, hold on, let me just see how long the messages are. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's great actually, um, because that was going to be one of my questions, but you already answered that with your examples. Um, I just wanted to probably ask you um, how to identify which kid is which, because the only ones that I can really identify are in 2008 and 2009, maybe up till like 10 and 11. Which one would be your child named Zoe? Other than that, I would not be able to identify any of your other kids, because we did discuss that we would be creating separate folders for each of the kids, to make it easier to be able to locate photos to put into each child's scrapbook present. So I'm just skimming through and showing you what's going on with the albums. And now I did retain some of your customized albums. As much as I said I wasn't going to, I'd still try to anyways, because I knew that was disappointing to you to hear that I wasn't going to keep it. So here's some examples of the ones that I did keep, that you had previously named or somebody else had previously named. This still does not count. Okay, hold on. All right. So there was actually some photos that I just decided to rename and then place them back into the main folder for the year that they're related to. But some of it was already custom named images, and I don't find it simple or convenient to have to go through and click on several different folders just to find less than 50 or less than 100 photos in a folder. But I did this for the sake of giving you this option and showing you that I could either do this where I rename things, um, and have them sequential, or I can leave them like this if this truly does make it easier for you to create the scrapbooks. But there's some of these that have nothing to do with like photos that you would put into your kid's scrapbook, because there's this, for example. I don't think that your husband graduating would be something to put into the scrapbook for the kids, but um that's up to you. Then there's let's see. So these ones were probably the most important. Zoe month 9, Zoe month 13. Yeah. Anyways, there's also additional ones that's like Thanksgiving right there. There's this album that's Sean and Becca. And then let's see. This is an accident. So let me give you an example of I wouldn't be able to identify which kid this is. Um, I mean, I'm not sure which kid this would be. I think I would need a photo of of each one of the kids, like within different maybe I should put the insert the photos into the questionnaire of like different ages of your kids. Maybe that would make it easier to have you identify which one's which, so I can go and proceed into the next step of selecting the images that would be relevant for each kid's scrapbook. Like the total number of folders your account has right now, that's kind of a lot. And there is 26,228 photos. I unzipped every single folder. I um for not for this project, you would find a couple of different folders, which is duplicates to discard and suggested deletes. Videos. I sorted all your videos by year. Still duplicates to get through in here, but this wasn't my primary focus. My primary focus was the family photos. The scanned documents are just basically all PDFs, miscellaneous, not family photos. I started doing the years in here, but then I didn't really finish that part because, again, our primary focus was just to make sure that we get the family photos sorted and get ready to do the scrapbooks. The inside of the scrapbook templates, you're going to find more 2017 photos because I noticed that you already started creating the scrapbook pages. So I sorted these out and separated them from the regular 2017s. And inside of here, we have some of the pages you wanted to use for your scrapbook. I'm not sure if this had anything to do with the scrapbooks, but I just saved it here anyways in case you did want to use. These were some more cute scrapbook backgrounds. Or the kind of questions I have for you are, what kind of themes do you want for your scrapbook pages? How much do you want me to prep things for the scrapbook? And how much involvement do you want me to have basically in that process? I try to keep all of these things together into the correct albums for how old Zoa is, because I know that we're doing hers first. Ask you to delete the delete me folder right there, and also to let you know that the contents are separated with the not for this project and then the family pics, and ask you how much more you would like for me to do within these folders. Like, do you want me to sort out which kid is the main star of each photo or whatever? Do you want to tell me who's who with reference photos? Like, I know you mentioned that you have five. I think that you said you have five kids, so um, it would help to like get a reference photo of like, okay, this is this person, this is that person, because I don't think it really helps me to only see that that this is a baby picture of your daughter, and then I don't see anything else like labeled out like that. So that's not going to really help me determine in 2024 which one is. The next step can be to um, highlight which photos to include in each album. Okay, so the next part I wanted to discuss with you was, or just show you is the better way to describe it, was some of the graphic design work that I've previously done, just mostly for my own enjoyment or to gift to others, including to create cards with photos of my friend's kid, and like as a Father's Day card or a Christmas card, or just things to advertise for different business needs that I had. And um, this was just to ask you whether or not you would like for me to try to create some of the scrapbook pages templates for you, and like go beyond selecting the photos to use in the scrapbook, and to actually just virtually design what it looks like for you to get printed elsewhere. And I'm just going through and kind of showing you some of the examples of images I've created for different purposes. And of course, we can take into consideration what colors you want, what themes you want, what styles you want, how many photos you want per page, if you want room to write a custom message for your kid, and if you just want the page to be full of photos, if you want, um, um, I mean, there's so many different styles that we can do this with. But there's like a lot more possibilities that can happen with the ability to um, just start from a blank slate, basically. So let me know, and I can get started on this for you as soon as you'd like. And also let me know if you'd like any further sorting completed on the not for this photo section of your OneDrive. The file directories that I'm going to be providing you will include the total quantities of what's in each folder, so you can get a better visual outlook of that. So another idea that I had for the creation of your scrapbook would be to use the scenic views that you guys have captured throughout your different vacations as some of the background pages to the scrapbook pages. So instead of using like the standard scrapbook templates or whatever, to take like, for example, the mountainous view that you have no people in, and place like photos of you, your kids and your family horseback riding, for example. Or let's say you guys visited the beach or something, and then you guys took a photo of just the ocean, and you're going to put a bunch of photos of you guys at the beach on that particular scrapbook page to make the background of the scrapbook page like the beach, basically. And then place a bunch of beach photos of your family on that page. It's just an idea, like, to um, that we can do, and I'm not sure if you're interested in that, but that's just something that I thought of. Is the last element of what I was planning on sharing with you. Here's your new Picasa file directories. This is every single image, file, video, um, everything that is within the contents that I sorted exists here. And then this is exactly how you get to those files. So these are the file types. These are the file, look, so these are the file names. These are the file types. This is the main folder name. This is the second. So when you open an all items, it goes to not for this project or family pics. And then here's like examples of where you would click into to get to the rest of it. So if there is no additional folder written on the column you're at, like right here, that means it would be located within these folders. That would be for all of the content. And then here's a breakdown of a visual of what's left on your account. Not for this project is 39% of your remaining files with 10,261 files, and family pics is 15,966 with 61% of your contents, even though the not for this project is actually more in size. It's still less in quantity, because by more in size, I mean this is 193 gigabytes out of the 235 gigabytes of contents. And then the family pics is 42.8 gigabytes, even though it's a lot more contents that's located there. Then other sheets that I created for you would be the not for this project. Here's a breakdown of these. Like, it's just the same snippets from here. And then here's the family pics. Again, they would all be located within Morgan's Pictures. And then here's a breakdown of what's inside the family pics, like the folders, and the quantities of files within each folder or photos within each folder. So as you can see, the ones that I created the most, or I left the most subfolders for, would be the 2009 files. But like I said, I was renaming quite a few of them. And then there you have it. I will ensure that I share this with you for sure whenever I share this video, so that you can have it. And if you ever move anything around, just let you know. All you need to do is go back to the Morgan's Picture tab, click here, and click refresh. And then go back to wherever you were looking. That's like one of the summarized pages, which is anything that's not the Morgan's picture pics sheet. And you go back there and you hit refresh, and it all refreshes to the current active version of where every single file is located and the exact quantities. So there you have it. Now you can hopefully be encouraged to delete the Picasa file directories, which is again located in all items not for this project, delete me, suggested deletes, Picasa file directories. Hopefully that'll make that one happen, and it'll be one less set of files that's there for no reason. I'm allowing editing access so that you can edit it as needed, and hopefully this helps. Thanks.